Hello everyone, my name is Ken, and the purpose of this video is to remind myself about the pain feedback system that I just finished creating. When players get hit or hurt by projectiles or bear traps or things like that, they need a way to know that. And what I ended up doing was creating a system where when a player gets hurt, there'll be a quick little flash on the screen and there'll be a player grunt. Let me go ahead and show that real fast. So you might be wondering, why is there this window dressing here? I have an overlap event set up to apply a gameplay effect, which is going to apply damage. It's just there so I can see it. It could be a sphere for all I care. So when I walk through it, you see a quick red flash, and then there is a grunt. I go to do it again, and so that's it. And when a player gets hit by a bullet, the same thing will happen. Or if they jump too high or land on something. I haven't set those up yet, but this is the basic system for that. Let me show you the code now and where all that is set up. Now this is using gameplay cues, and Unreal Engine has a gameplay cue system that is controlled through gameplay tags. So I created a new gameplay cue, gameplay cue player pain feedback. So this is the gameplay tag that the gameplay abilities system will use to play a gameplay cue. It's a lot of gameplay words, but I promise it's worth it. It's super easy. So once you define the gameplay cue tag, which I called player.painFeedback, we can use this tag on any gameplay effect. And when that gameplay effect is applied, if it sees this tag, it will then use that to play. Well, it'll run our class, which I'm about to show here. So we now have a queue section in the ability system folder, and you'll see that I have a new file here called pain feedback. If I open the header, it's very small. It's a child of Unreal's gameplay queue notify actor. Ours is just called player pain feedback. There's an execute function, and then there's two member variables, which are there to set up the sound cue, which you do in the blueprint, and then a UI widget that will put on the screen anytime this effect is executed. If we go into the code, there's not a lot here. It's just grabbing the player pawn. It's getting the controller. It's going to play the sound if we have one set, and then it's going to throw that widget on the viewport if that is also set. And then it will destroy itself after 5 seconds. That's it. Super simple. If we go into the blueprints, I have a blueprint now called pain feedback, which is a child of this class. We see we have a pain sound set up, and then we have a widget class for our widget. So if these are set, it will play the sound and then add it to the viewport. That's the sound. This is pretty easy. It's just, I found these online on a free sound website. There's 4 of them, and then I just threw it into a sound queue, and then again just throw it through a random node so that way it just picks anyone it wants at random. And then the widget is here. So this is pretty simple as well. It's just a border. The border is using a brush color of red. So it's the R is 1, and then the GB is 0, and then the alpha channel is 0 too. So you don't see it immediately. But we have an animation that I called fade in and out with 2 keys. And the first key is just the default state, which is alpha is 0. And then when we go to 0.1, we set the alpha key to 2.5. And then at half a second mark, we set it back to 0. So what you end up with is this. Oops. It's just a quick little flash. There's also an event that I created at the end of the animation called on fade out complete. So in the event graph, when we throw this onto the screen in code, obviously the constructor will fire, and then we play this animation, which is here. And then when that animation completes, it'll fire off that event, which is here. And then it just removes the widget from the screen. If the widget stayed on the screen, you wouldn't be able to see it, but you also wouldn't be able to drag anything. It would just be invisible, so your UI would not like take in inputs properly. So if you're trying to drag items around, you wouldn't be able to because this widget would still be on the screen. So it's important to always remove this when it's done. And then applying gameplay effects. So this here is just, like I said, a simple curtain. So I have a class called Effect Actor that takes gameplay effects, whatever one you set it to. And so what I did is I just created a new one here called Death Box, and then gave it a mesh with an overlap. And then this here has, where'd it go? Oh, here it is. There's an effect class. So anytime an overlap event is triggered, it will apply this gameplay effect, which I have set here called take damage. If you go into this gameplay effect, you'll see that it's going to affect the health, and it's going to affect the health by 5. And then this is gameplay cues. So you can create as many as you want. I have one, and this is where you set the tag. So if you open this up, because we preface this with a gameplay cue, Unreal Engine will see that here and then show you all your gameplay cues that you have available. And then I just selected pane feedback. Yeah, and that's it. Pretty simple system. Just wanted to get something out and going, just to give some feedback to the player. And it seems pretty effective. Anyways, thanks for watching.